My gosh, it's 2022. So you know what that means. It means more COVID. No, wait, no, not more COVID. Hopefully it means less COVID and more Airstreaming. So over the years that we have been together on this channel and you have watched Fred and I do our thing, I think you may have come to learn about me that I'm a little particular, right? I like just everything on the Airstream just so. So this video is going to be about our launch prep for this year, which is to get all the things fixed on the Airstream that happened last year. So you can go look at last season. I did a couple of videos on Airstream issues that we had. So let's get to it. We're going to walk through. What we're going to do is go down to Are Airstream, which used to be Airstream of Scottsdale. We've also done multiple videos of their facility. So they have moved to Chandler, Arizona, which is south of Phoenix, to a much bigger facility. So we'll show you a little bit of video of that too. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you all the things that we're going to have Are Airstream fix. We are under the Airstream, and from last year, some of you may remember that we discovered a bulge in our water tank, and that's the first thing we're going to get fixed. And the next thing we're going to get while they're down here is you can see that we have a cracked environmental seal where the propane line goes in. Probably have this one done too, and prevent that from rattling when the like the air conditioners are going. About 2 years ago, incredibly, God, boy, how time flies. Not quite 2 years ago, we were in Jackson Center, had some work done in the Airstream, and they recommended what's called a reseal. And so they just noticed that the sealant around many edges of the Airstream looks prematurely worn, and they're speculating that this is likely due to the punishing heat in Arizona. Next thing we're going to have looked at here is the door. So I'm going to show you something that a lot of people talk about, the pretty famous Airstream door. So the Airstream has a double click. So I'm going to push on this and you're going to hear one click and then another. And that means that the Airstream door is now fully closed. But watch this, right? Watch when we're closing the door, you'll see that it actually moves up, right? And so you can see it's not quite aligned anymore when it closes. So I have just the slightest concern that this may be prematurely wearing, I don't know, possibly the hinges, possibly how the door fixes to the Airstream. Just a worry of mine. So I'm gonna have them look at this fit and see if they can adjust the door so we don't have to slam it so hard while we're on the inside, and we don't get this really dramatic sort of mechanical change when the door's closed. Last year, I actually did a video of this on the road. That there tire got super hot, or the wheel more specifically, when we were towing through Are last year in Colorado. So hot that I actually couldn't touch it. So we ended up getting a fantastic service out there. It was an emergency mobile service that we found. And they pulled off the tires, the wheels, and exposed the brake drums there, and decided that it was just overly caked and built up with brake dust, you know, from the drum brake. So they cleaned it all out. It's been fine since, but ever since then I've had just the slightest concern that I should have all this stuff serviced. So Airstream recommends servicing the bearings, like doing a repack once a year. Even though these are never lube bearings, which means they're sealed cartridges, I'm just going to have them replaced. That's what Airstream told me when I was in Jackson Center. So that's what I'm going to do. While they're in there doing the bearings, I'm going to have them service and check all of the brakes. Even though we did that on the road and they got a good checkup, it'd be silly while we're there at an actual service center not to have these looked at. Yes, Airstream batteries. Last year I also did a story about this. While we were on the road, our interstate batteries pooped out. So we do have these new Deca Intimidator batteries. Honestly, they did fine. They got us through the season. So thumbs up to these guys. However, they aren't an original part that came with the Airstream, and you guys know me. I'm just a little bit specific about my Airstream. So I'm gonna have those interstates put back, new interstates. Every year, when I pull the Airstream out of storage at Fred's house, there's like these foam gaskets that form a seal between the front of the Airstream and these plexi windows, and you can see that they form gaps. So also there are some window molding elements in here, and like so, and those come out, and I'm tired of picking up the Airstream and fixing it every season, so I'm gonna have that stuff redone. Another thing I'm gonna have checked while we are at We Are Airstream is these guys. These are the air conditioners, the Dometic air conditioners that shipped with the Airstream. And I don't know the first thing about air conditioners, but I felt like maybe they were struggling a little bit last year, but it could be my imagination. We do tend to go some places that are quite hot, and it's a lot to ask of these little recreational air conditioners to pull down when it's 100 degrees, but we'll have them take a look and see what they can do. When we're at We Are Airstream, I'm going to have them take a look at this guy. This is our refrigerator, of course. And we had some trouble over the summer when we were at higher altitudes. This little check light found itself turning on, and I had never had trouble with this refrigerator at those same locations in the past. So we're going to have them check it out and find out why this check light was coming on. All right, we're in the bathroom here in the Airstream, and the next thing I'm going to have serviced is we're approaching 6 years in this trailer. I just can't believe it. And age is showing up just sort of as wear and tear on various things. So the toilet here, most of you know that on an RV toilet, you press down on this pedal, and that will engage filling the toilet with water. And then if you press all the way, it'll open that valve at the bottom here and flush the water. The problem that we had last season is that it seems that the spring or something is worn out, so that when you let go of this paddle, it doesn't return fully to its full position, kind of leaving that valve down there hanging a little bit open. And you can imagine over time the smell isn't great. So I've asked them to fully replace the toilet. I know that may seem extreme, but the reason that we've decided to do that is, the other thing I don't really like about this toilet design is when that valve is open fully at the bottom there, it exposes like workings, right? There's like moving pieces in there that are fully exposed to everything that's in the toilet when you're flushing it, and it just gets filthy. It's super gross. And no matter kind of what I do, I've actually pulled a freaking hose, a high pressure hose in here, and tried to sterilize that thing down, scrubbing bubbles, bleach, like nothing quite gets it clean. So it's, in my opinion, kind of a bad design. But if this thing's worn out already, we're going to push the reset button here and start up with a new toilet. All right, next thing we're going to have done is I've marked some spots on the floor here. I've complained to Airstream about this since we've owned the Airstream, right? But the linoleum floors is really, it's really quite lightweight, right? And it just simply doesn't handle even really very casual dents and dings. We have all kinds of carpets and stuff in the Airstream here to protect the floor, but there's just always an incident or two each year where something gets by. And so I have a couple of dings, and we're going to have those patched and be good as new. You'll notice here, we're missing some cushions. And about 3 seasons ago, I think I did an episode on hacking these cushions. I foamed them, and I put some memory foam in. That did work for about 2 seasons, and now they're back to being too mushy. So we are going to take those cushions into an automotive upholsterer that I have found here, and we'll show you a little bit of what they're going to be up to as well. For those of you who have RVs or an Airstream will recognize this is the water pump. And a couple years ago, right after we launched, we started having trouble with this guy. And what it was doing was it was topping off constantly. And I searched all over the Airstream and was not able to find any leaks. And we decided that that the check valve was going. So we barely made it through that season, and we had Are Airstream replace it. But next time, I don't want to be caught flat-footed again while we're out having an adventure. So we're going to have Are Airstream order up a spare pump, and I'm just going to keep it somewhere in here until the day it's needed. Outside Are Airstream's new facilities down here in Chandler, and this giant building they've got. They're also gonna allow some form of overnight stay. It won't have services, but the city is gonna allow folks to stay so that they can have their trailers worked on, which is an absolutely brilliant move. We're gonna take a tour of the service area, and we've got our custom tour guide here. This is Melissa.
Hi.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so this is our retail parts store where you can find everything Airstream, from our pottery barn to our own logo, our own apparel. We have lots of hats, t-shirts,
Sure do, yep.
The pottery barn stuff we have, I don't believe you can get it anywhere anymore.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
I believe so.
So you have to come here?
At a pottery barn, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Loving it.
And we do break it up. It used to be just one solid kit. Now you can buy individually.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have more hats, more t-shirts. We also have, down this way, we have some nice bags, travel bags.
Gorgeous.
We got lights.
And look at this, guys. You got parts for the Airstream here. Nobody else carries this stuff.
We do have OEM parts. We have a lot of the metal, because
oh, sure enough.
Airstream puts the plastic. We also carry metal, which a lot of people are going to.
We did. We upgraded. Yep.
Did you?
Yep, because it cracked. Yeah, sure enough.
So we got that stuff. We got your pumps. We got cameras.
Oh, there's another. Yep, that's my system. That's the Voyager. Okay.
Yeah. We got things for all of your plumbing, septic, all of that good stuff.
And get all your dump hoses. Fantastic. And you got some nice mats here too, I saw. So that's nice. Right on.
If you ever need toilet paper, we have lots of it.
And it's tank safe, I guess.
Yes,
okay.
yes, tank safe. This is definitely tank safe. This is what you want to use. You never want to use your regular home
is that right?
paper
okay.
in your Airstream or any trailer, because you're gonna get clogging.
Clog free, right on. And we got our electrical accessories here. Okay.
Yes, we do. We have the adapters that you need. We have the surge protectors.
Beautiful.
Which is highly recommended, especially if you're going to parks where you don't know what you're hooking up to. This is a very good brand. We do sell a lot of them. You can operate them from your phone and get notifications.
Beautiful.
Highly recommend that one.
So there's smart cords now.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that.
Everything is a smart cord.
Awesome.
And now we have, generators.
Oh, you sell generators here too? Okay.
We have the Omen generator here. Pretty hard to get generator. We're one of the only places that actually do have this one
No kidding.
in stock.
Okay.
You can order them, but we do have this one in stock.
So Cummins is pretty legendary, so that must be a really good generator. I have not myself looked into this generator, but Cummins is renowned, right?
Yes, they're a great generator, and this one does come with a remote start.
Oh God, that would be nice.
Yeah, and
that would be so
it's
nice.
pretty light. It's on wheels. You can, easily transport it from one area to another.
God, remote start. We got our parts area.
Lights. This is our retail store coming along. Every day we get new stuff, so it's very exciting.
Beautiful.
And now we're walking into our showroom.
How are you? We're making a video for YouTube.
Perfect, love it.
This guy's responsible for this place. Say hi.
A little bit. Everybody's part of it.
So yeah, this is our beautiful showroom. We have the Pottery Barn here.
It's huge.
On display. People are loving it.
You actually have units here.
We do.
You've got some for sale. That's. I know it was a huge problem during COVID, right?
Yes. So some of them, as you see, say for display only.
Sure.
These are either have been purchased by people and they're allowing us to show them, so other people can order them.
Okay.
Or like the Pottery Barn, we obviously can't sell this. This is for our display for people
Okay.
to order.
Okay.
We do. Our owner works very hard at trying to find Airstreams throughout the country that we can purchase to sell to the consumer, as well as a lot of trades. We do have a
No
lot of
kidding.
trades.
Okay.
So we do have a lot of inventory. We're very proud of it. People come in here and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you actually do have inventory."
So it's a combination of pre-owned orders and you have new trailers right here.
Yes.
A combination. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was in a year ago and the inventory was a real problem, right? So this is amazing. And the showroom is just stunning. I mean, the size of this place and this glittery floor.
It looks wet.
It does. And is that the service area we're seeing through?
This is our delivery area.
Oh, it's the delivery. Okay.
So
Okay.
when our customers come in for a purchase and have their walkthrough, they have a nice air-conditioned environment where we can pull not only their Airstream but also their tow vehicle in, get it hooked up with their sway control systems, and they're doing it in an
So nice.
climate-controlled environment where they're not outside sweating. We all live in Arizona here, and it does get very hot, especially in the summertime, to do a walkthrough outside in a metal box.
I can relate. 6 years ago when we bought the Airstream, we picked it up, I think it was late May, early June, and I thought I was gonna die. I mean, the heat was just unbelievable, right? And then, they went out and trained us a little bit on how to back up and stuff, and it was just so hot. So,
Yeah.
so beautiful. That's a fantastic idea. Wonderful. How are the base camps doing? Are they selling well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of the base camp.
I see a lot of them on the road.
People are really liking the new Base Camp X, the more off-road, bigger tires lift, where they can go more boondocking.
Okay, so there's...
And it's a small trailer, so they can get in and out of places pretty relatively easy. So
Look at this, guys. Some history. That's so badass. Look at that. Love it. Is that a waiting room for customers?
yeah, so this is our customer lounge over here. We have a nice touchscreen coffee bar where you can have lattes, espressos, mocha, hot chocolate, regular coffee.
Gorgeous. Do you allow customers to wait with pets?
We do. We
You
are
do.
very pet friendly. We love our fur babies.
Nice.
So everyone is welcome at We Are Airstream Chandler Superstore. This is our service center.
Look at
As well
this.
as our storage. We do offer indoor storage with the concierge.
So did you guys
service,
hear that? They offer indoor frickin' storage.
with concierge.
That means they bring it to you? Is that what that
means
means?
that when you drop off, we clean it, we dump it, we plug it in, and it's ready for you to pick up.
Oh my
When you
God.
notify us about pickup, we fill it with water, get all your appliances running, we fill it with water, wash it again, and pull it out front for you. So you're
Unbelievable.
ready to hook up and go on your trip.
Now, what about batteries?
They're
Did they
plugged
check
in.
those? They plug them in.
They're
Unbelievable.
plugged in the whole time.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. I had no idea that Argosies came in bus form. Look at that. Really something. Spare tire. Towing hitch. Let's see what she looks like inside. Wow. Very 70s. Beautiful shape though. A lot of this looks original. Man, this is slick. I like this. Six weeks. Been looking forward to getting the trailer back. So We Are Airstream is done with her. So I'll take you on a quick tour of all the stuff we got done here. So first thing is we got new foam around all of the windows. And this stuff was beginning to dry out. And there's sort of like these plastic ropey things that you push in here that holds the plexi in, and I got all those replaced because those are dry rotting out. We did the full seal test, and they just recommended replacing the seals on this window here. So only that seal was done. They explained to me that if they don't find any leaks, they don't typically recommend resealing for no reason. All right, so while I was at We Are Airstream, just on the fly kind of game time decision, I asked them to look at the jack, and they said it needed to be replaced because I was beginning to get suspicious it was making some funny noises. So so we have a new jack on here. Also, there was a wiring harness that had come loose underneath here, and they took care of that. So moving on, we got the environmental seals done here. These were rotting off, dry rotting off where the propane lines enter the trailer, so we got those redone. Also, I was worried that there was an issue with the water tank because you can kind of see that bulge there. So We Are Airstream had two separate techs look at it, and they explained that evidently there are no straps in there. That is the water tank, and it's surrounded by some kind of foam. And they said there was no freeze event. They don't know why it's bulging, but it is perfectly safe, and I can tow with water. So I did not need to have the tank dropped or replaced, thank God. We took a hit from some rocks up on the cap here a couple years ago, and the dent was very severe, so I had them put these body rivets in. So you wouldn't know from looking at the Airstream that they don't belong there. But it was better than trying to replace the caps there. Well, you can see that the ceramic coat is holding up beautifully, and we're going to do another video here shortly on getting that renewed this year at RPM. But I did want to mention one not good thing happened while the trailer was at We Are Airstream. They did dent this corner during some sort of a move. So at their expense, they actually did replace this panel. So I appreciate their honesty. It's unfortunate that that incident happened, but I am very impressed that they didn't give me any guff. They covered it and installed a new panel. And you guys remember my adventures from last year? Had battery trouble while we were in the basically middle of nowhere in Colorado. So I have new interstate batteries, brand new AGMs. So we got these 34M AGMs put in, 36-month warranty. So we'll get, another 3 years or so out of them. Showed you earlier before I dropped the Airstream off that I was very concerned about this door. There was a substantial gap visible between these hinges. You could actually see daylight. And I showed it to them and said, not only am I worried about the door coming loose, but the fit when we closed the door was very dramatically poor. So you could actually see the door, I would say, was coming up at least 1/4 of an inch. So now we get a nice even closure with virtually no play or change in position of the door. That's the way the door on an Airstream is supposed to be. So they did it. They fixed the gaps, and whatever magic they did, they also fixed the fitment so that the door closes like it's supposed to. So the only real solid bummer about the stuff that I had done, I'm always excited to have the Airstream worked on, and she looks nice and pretty and ready to go on her next adventure. But last year we had this issue where one of these wheels felt abnormally hot. We were smelling kind of a brake smell in the Airstream, and sure enough, I had We Are Airstream take a look, and they determined that the entire assembly, so when I say the assembly, this is the backing plates, the drum brakes, and the bearings, all of them were showing scorching. So I was unable to get a reason from them. They didn't really know. They couldn't explain why that happened, but it's odd that it happened on all 4 tires. So they did say that they recommend pulling a tire every 6 months and having them inspected, which I absolutely did not do. So this was a very pricey lesson to learn. If indeed, if it's my own fault for not servicing them, or if maybe I had a bad manufacturing run, I don't know. So all 4 of these wheels were completely overhauled. I mentioned that we were having trouble with the fridge on our last trip. It was having trouble lighting. I was expecting this to turn into a big deal, I guess because I tend to expect the worst news, but turns out that the fridge was, they just had to service it and clean out a port. I'll give you a snapshot of the report from the tech, but you can see that she started right up there, right onto gas. And you may remember that I mentioned that we had some trouble a couple seasons ago with our pump. We made it through the season, but it was dicey. So kind of learned that it's good to have a spare. So I ordered up this spare, and it will live in the Airstream until the day that it's needed. First towel bar. When I bought the Airstream, a lot of these fixtures were coming loose, and so I Loctited them. And that kind of bit me at the end because this towel bar came loose again, and I could not get that little set screw loose. So I gave the problem to We Are Airstream, and they were able to get it loose and then retighten it. So that's fantastic. New toilet. So as I mentioned, basically we replaced this toilet because the little valve at the bottom here wouldn't return to the closed position. So now you can see that it closes beautifully, exactly like it's designed to do. Had the air conditioners checked and serviced. They got a good bill of health. Some places that we've journeyed are very hot, and I felt like the trailer was struggling last year. And so they did a cleaning, pulled off the grills. Again, I'll give you a snapshot of what the tech said. But they got a clean bill of health, so I don't have to buy new air conditioners, which is great. We had some floor work done, and I can't even tell almost at all where the patches were. That one a little bit, but nice work. Here we are at Spaceport Central, otherwise known as Fred's house. So there's nothing like saving the best for last. So you can see that the upholstery has been restored. And Fred came with the restoration. No, I'm just kidding. I've never encountered this, Fred. We have a vendor that did some work for us that didn't want any mention of their name. So we've never had that happen, but they just didn't want the the credit, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be able to tell you guys who did the upholstery work, which is super unfortunate because I'm really very happy with it. So what they did is we ordered up the ultra stiff foam, and just like everything else in COVID, everything's hard to get, just like bike parts, right? So it was quite expensive. It was about $2,500 to get this upholstery done, although I did all of it, not just the cushions, but the backrests and everything. So I did order up the, it's supposed to be automotive quality, so it's supposed to last, just like you would find inside the seat cushion of an actual vehicle seat. So Fred, you were just commenting here on what the experience is like. So certainly not as floppy as it was, right?
It's definitely extremely firm.
Yeah, extremely firm is a good way to put it. I ordered the firm because I was worried that it would break down again quickly. So I hope I didn't over order, but I think it'll be, this is where Fred is sitting, is where I work, right? So I think I'll find it to be much better.
Yeah, I think it's extremely firm, but it's very good for a nice for your posture.
Right.
So it'll be good sitting here all day working at the computer.
So we got everything refoamed, and something else maybe, Fred, you could do here, since we got two of us. Maybe you could pull out that bottom cushion for us, and we'll give a little tour here of something that I'm really impressed with. It's so sad that I can't get the I can't give these guys credit for their work, but now here's the bottom panel where the Airstream, like you can see, there's Velcro that is on the bench, and then it's supposed to line up at the bottom of the seat here. And over the many years that I sat at this seat, this stuff started to stretch. And so upon looking at this from afar, it seems like this is the original seat. But what these folks did for the automotive upholstery folks is they removed this bottom panel, this entire panel, and replaced it, and then sewed on Velcro. And I cannot tell the difference at all. And if I zoom in on the stitches here, a beautiful, beautiful seam here. You can't even tell it's been redone. And it really shows you what's possible, right? Like when the time comes when, this upholstery is damaged, unfortunately, I'm sure it'll come. It shows me it's going to be possible to fully remake these cushions with, folks that are skilled, right? Then it fits just like it was supposed to when it was original. So I'm very happy with their work. I'm just very sad that I can't give them credit. They don't want us to mention them, so that's too bad. And it all goes right back together.